Welcome to episode 46 of Tech of Tea. I'm, as always, your host, Brody Robertson, and today's guest is someone who I met because he decided to bully me on YouTube. Welcome to the show, Kai Hendry.
Oh, thanks, Brody. Yeah, well, how did I come across you? I'm just trying to think. I mean, I think you do stand out. I think you do invite attention. You're like the Luke Smith clone, right?
That's what I go with. People started calling me that like back when I started the channel, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. Why not?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not controversial enough or something, but I'm just the middle of the road or something kind of guy.
Well, I don't feel like I'm that controversial either. I'm pretty boring on most things. Like, do I think video games are bad? I don't know. Depends on if you have other things that you should use. Is Linux always the best thing to use? I don't know. Do you like open source software? I'm not that controversial. I don't know. Maybe it's because I
mean, controversial is probably the wrong term, but I think like for me, it's like who's a bit of a bit more experienced, shall we say? I guess we're a little bit. I would be like a little bit more triggered or something like that, or I don't know what. By every newbie has to go through this sort of rite of passage.
Yeah, sure.
It's like kind of like hazing almost, but it's not nice, is it? But like, yeah, I mean, learning all this stuff takes a lot of time and effort, and you get things wrong and blah blah blah. And I guess like sometimes I watch a video and I go, oh, but okay, you could go, you'll get there, I'm sure, if you carry on.
Well, the mistake I made with this channel was I started it before I actually started using Linux, and I started like doing videos on Linux from the day I started using Linux, and that's why a lot of my early videos are just not good.
Yeah. I mean, my early videos are just terrible too. So, and I don't know if you feel the same way as I do. It's like I make videos and then I almost forget that I ever did them, and then I'm like searching and I did something about that. It's like and that's a useful reference for my own self, sort of thing.
Yeah, I recently did a video. I did a live stream where I was going through. So most of my video topics come from Reddit because that's where people like to advertise software now. I don't know why they do it like that.
Yeah, your last video is about Reddit. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I bootstrapped my channel through Reddit by dropping a few links in there. You probably could see that by my username.
But what I was saying was, during that stream, it was basically just me going through my RSS feeds of subreddits that have useful topics on them, and every time I'd come across something, someone would be like, oh, yeah, you've already done a video on that. You've done a video on that one. Like, have I? And they just post a link to like, wow, I have, haven't I? I didn't remember doing that once. Like, I do so many videos that it's very easy to start forgetting what I've actually talked about.
And yeah, and YouTube does get you on the hamster wheel so that you do get into this habit of making videos and banging them out.
I have cut back on one video and replaced it with a live stream. The live streams, like, I don't really prepare them. It's usually just, okay, I have a thing I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to do a research stream. Maybe I'm going to play Xenotic. But I don't really plan them like I plan out my regular videos. So they're more sort of relaxing. Most of the content for those comes from just interacting with the community.
All right. Interacting with the community. Tell me about your community. How would you... what's the demographic there?
Like age group or like how many of them are from 4chan?
Oh, 4chan. Oh, they're from 4chan. Oh,
well, I do. My initial sub boost came from Luke recommending my channel. Like, there is a... I don't know if you've seen it. God. Maybe not. I don't know how if you watch any Linux.
Well, 90% of your audience is probably just trolls, right?
No, it's changed since the original shout out.
You introduced me as a bully. I mean, you must have like.
Here we go. The chat on.
At least I have a face. I'm.
There we go.
What do you call it? I can say sorry. but what kind of 4chan?
No, I actually appreciate it.
Well, okay, so I mean, I guess you enjoy your audience. I mean, or do they like give you like, oh man, I don't get it? Do they make you sad?
There's I can sort of tell when someone's new to the channel because they'll make the exact same joke. You don't know how many times I've heard your beard looks like pubes. You do not know how many times I've seen that, and every single person who says that thinks they're being original.
That's a good one.
It was about 50 times ago.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, why didn't I use that one? No, I wouldn't have said something like that.
Someone did actually have a good spin on it recently. They said, why is this ballsack talking about FOSS software? Like, that's a good one.
That's better.
Yeah, if you're going to take a new spin on an old joke, hey, that works, but...
But okay, besides that negative stuff...
Oh no, most people I've talked to are really chill.
But have you got like some like killer tips or like... I like chatting with my community because they usually give me tell me, fill in the gaps and tell me things I don't know, which is great.
Yeah, there's been... there's a lot of people who are really, really hardcore... I only use FOSS software sort of people in my Discord and stuff, and that's funny because they're on Discord, but ignore that part. Some of them are migrating over to the Matrix version of my community, and it's like bridged over so they can chat to each other. But yeah, there's a lot of people like that. People who will only use terminal applications. There's a guy who uses only like Plan 9 stuff.
Cool.
You find some interesting characters for sure.
Okay. Cool.
But then you can go all the way to the other side, where I have one guy who is... What is he doing? He's doing some sort of IT work. I can't remember what it was. But he just uses Linux because that's what makes sense for what he's doing in his job. And he doesn't use Linux directly. He uses it through WSL. Because that just makes more sense for his job.
Fine, I guess.
It's sort of like this...
That WSL, there was that corruption bug that made me chuckle.
Yeah, I did see that you... I went back and looked at some of your older videos that you did a WSL video back when it first came out.
So, I wonder what if we have an intersection of like people that watch your channel and my channel, or do you think they're quite insulated or something?
I feel like when you do anything regarding like DWM or suckless software, there's definitely some crossover there.
Yeah. There is definitely some... When I did my suckless video, I dare say I was a pioneer there. I didn't realize there would be that much interest, but I'm glad there is.
I'm so confused. Like I know DT doesn't know why anyone does it either. There is a weird amount of people who are interested in these random little applications. Like if you look at the grand scheme of things, nobody runs suckless software. But
what?
It's a very insular little bubble. It's really true with a lot of this minimal software, though. If you look at the grand scheme of things, no one really runs it, but there is a very dedicated subset of people who absolutely love it.
Okay, but I think dmenu is used everywhere.
No, dmenu
is used. A lot of people who are not that sort of, what do you call it, are not... I don't know, what do you call these butterflies? People who like to try things. I think a lot of people have stuck with DWM. I know a lot of DWM users, and ST is a little bit weird, but
it's good after you give like 4 or 5 patches to it.
Yeah. So, I think suckless software is very good, and is maybe it's not widely used, but I think it's like deeply influential. That's the more powerful thing.
What do you mean by that?
The suckless philosophy. I think DWM was like the first XOR window manager that was usable, and like 1,000 or whatever lines of code. So people everyone who wrote, subsequently wrote a tiling window manager, which source code did they look at to figure it all out? It was DWM. Awesome. All the rest of it.
Awesome is a fork of DWM.
There's so many forks of DWM, and you have to ask yourself why, because DWM got it right from the beginning. So
yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know why people mess up what do you call a D menu? It's like an autocomplete sort of fuzzy matcher thing.
I don't think it's a fuzzy matcher, but there's a fuzzy patch for it.
It's not a fuzzy matcher, but like the whole fact, using D menu, like this very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not many lines of code, but like people go, oh yeah, that is a simple way. And then I feel like maybe Spotlight and I don't know, the Windows Start menu was there before, but it never worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just shows you can actually just execute a binary, and it's like lightning fast. And
don't you love it when
many lines of code?
Don't you love it when your Mac decides that it wants to index your entire system and then you can't use Spotlight?
Yeah. Spotlight is just insane. And the worst is like I have an iOS phone, and every time I like pull down to do a search, it just doesn't work half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just think to yourself, what are these guys doing? Can't they just look at D menu source code and just copy and paste or something? But like, so yeah, suckless philosophy has been influential to me and many others, I feel. So that's a camp. I mean, I also think their mailing list is very high quality. So I like to read that.
I guess I'm just looking at it from after all of this has already gone down, because you've been around in Linux much longer than I have. I've really only been using it for the past like 2 years at this point, I reckon.
Shit, you're a baby.
Yeah. Like, I knew of Linux, but I was one of those people who thought, oh, Linux is going to be really difficult to use. And obviously it's not actually the case.
Well, it is. I mean, the desktop is a complete mess joke. And you have to like navigate your way through it. No one's going to make a suckless distribution for you, I guess. So you have to find your way.
I'm going to see if someone's done that. I wouldn't be surprised. Someone's rewrote... Actually, do you know about this? You probably don't. Someone has rewrote all of the GNU core utils in Rust. So
it doesn't surprise me. I mean, there was a Go
don't
project.
Question it. That people are going to do dumb things.
Well, it's a good exercise. That's really good exercise. Like the beautiful thing, the reason why Unix will last, beyond our lifetimes is that the utilities are kind of easy to understand and easy to implement. And if people implemented it in different languages, all the better, because when the Armageddon comes, whatever the end of days,
you need those GNU core utils.
You can just copy some Rust source code and maybe some other source code, and you have a system. Kind of bizarre, but that's the kind of world we're living in.
I guess so. So you don't really make that many videos. What actually made you want to actually start doing it?
Well, how many videos do I have?
I
thought I had a lot.
Well, I mean, you don't
bang them out.
Yeah, you don't bang them out.
I got a day job, that's why.
Yeah, well, yeah, you've got more important things to do.
And kids.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Well, the YouTube medium is amazing, dude. As you know, it's like I think I've had various experiences when I uploaded like some water going through a sink or something like this. And
yeah, you mentioned that last time we talked. Do you remember what that one's called?
Sink. If you just search for sink or something.
Just sink, not Kai Hendry sink.
Yeah, maybe.
No, sadly not.
I like the idea of just reaching new audiences and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was thinking of actually trying to publish more to Instagram, but like, is there any sane people on Instagram? It's kind of a rabbit hole, that thing. But I do like the idea of being. I hate the word influencer, but I think I'm 100% on that bandwagon. I like to influence people. I mean, influence doesn't sound right. I just like to get the points across that, like, you can use a free operating system, free of cost, but more importantly, free of bullshit.
Yeah.
And have fun and get most things done with it, except video editing, which is a bit ironic.
Yeah. Video editing, oh lord. I haven't actually. Wait, will it be out? It might be out by the time this comes out. Actually, I'm actually sort of doing a bit of an experiment with Linux video editing. So everyone sort of is in this mindset that Kden Live is just the best video editor, but I don't know.
Trash.
No, it's absolute garbage. I hate it. But I don't think anyone who says that actually has tried anything else, and I've really only used OpenShot besides it. So I'm going to go through and try every single video editor that is even remotely competent and see if Kdenlive actually is the best video editor. And if it is, that is a very sad state of affair that we're in.
Well, I haven't tried Kdenlive for a while, but I mean, I'm willing to accept that it's got better and all that stuff.
It might be the best, but that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Final Cut Pro 10 is pretty amazing, to be honest. I'm hooked. I'm hooked to my iOS device to help me. But I still feel free using my Arch Linux daily driver. Yeah. I hope I don't sound like a hypocrite.
I don't think you have to do everything with FOSS software. I don't think that, like, some people think that you make Linux videos, therefore you must also do this. But
yeah. Like years ago in the London hackerspace, I feel a bit bad because I criticized Tom Scott of all people for using Premiere Pro or something to edit his videos. And he retorted a bit kind of angry, dismissively, angrily, whatever, saying like there's no better alternative. And I was like, I think I was on the FOSS train saying you can use FFmpeg. Da, da, da.
Oh God, no.
He was like looking at me like I was an idiot, and yes, I was an idiot.
You can use FFmpeg for certain things,
but not. I mean, yeah, when you do proper video editing with Final Cut Pro 10, you realize what you can do and the creative control that you have. Important. Not that my videos are very creative. I just kind of jam them together, but like whatever.
Well, you have had some ones that, like, they don't. I don't know. I don't know if you'd call them creative. You had some videos that have definitely banged with like just a little bit of creativity. Like you're installing Arch in UEFI with 10. What was it? Installing Arch in 10 minutes on UEFI or something like that.
Yeah, is that creative?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has done it. At least at the time when you did the video. Maybe since then.
Yeah, that's one of my most popular videos, the Arch Linux install video. Yeah, and I've got. I think I'm proud of my 5 minutes one, but it doesn't seem to rack up the views I was hoping it would.
Because this was actually how I originally found your channel.
All right. Yeah, most people ask me about install stuff. In fact, I got a question today from one of the suckless people asking me, "Oh, how do I automate an install process on Ubuntu? It wasn't Arch?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't really know." I'm like the how to install Linux guy, but like I did it manually, right? Whatever. I don't automate these things. I'm just trying to show people how to do it by hand, so people better understand.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, is the UEFI video your top video, or is there something more popular than that?
It's probably a big one. There's also. Did you ever see my Debian rant?
The Arch Linux versus Debian / Ubuntu, is that one? Or is there a different one you're talking about?
Could be that one. Sorry, I'd have to open up my. Oh God.
One thing I've noticed about your channel is you have a lot of just random videos that have been massively disliked. I don't understand why.
Passionate fans.
Maybe, like...
Then you have a lot of... Which ones? Oh no, some of them have been disasters.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 8GB SanDisk micro SD only showing 30 megabyte. That one has a 38% like to dislike ratio.
Yeah.
Leaking sinkhole with plug. That one has a 46% like to dislike ratio. I can kind of understand maybe there's a SanDisk fan, but who's disliking a video about a leaking sink?
Well, that SanDisk one was really interesting. I thought I was the only one. I thought I did something under Linux to my what do you call it? My memory card. But it turns out thousands of people have this problem. And it's nothing related to Linux. Oh yeah, my Arch Linux versus Debian Ubuntu video, that's worth a watch if you haven't watched it already. I'm proud of that video. One take.
Wow.
and for once I actually explain myself, because I don't know about you, but like I make a little dialogue or video, and then I wake up in the middle of the night going, why didn't I say that, or I missed this point entirely,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't think I explain myself well.
Yep, yeah, I definitely know the feeling, but the thing is that unless it's something absolutely major, just get the video done and move on to the next one.
Damn, you're on that whole YouTube hype train, dude.
You know, like Gary V and all that. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
Gary V quote. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're trying to bang it out. I mean, I'm pretty inspired by like Ali Abdaal lately on his videos. But yeah, like it's a bit of it is a hamster
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new,
making YouTube, I think making YouTube a career, you got to like consistently bang them out.
I'm having fun with it right now. Honestly, if I'd be happy if I could just not work in a supermarket. That'd be good for me.
Oh yeah, you work at a supermarket.
I do, yes.
Oh yeah.
It's not a bad job. It's better than where I was before doing fast food. So I've stepped up like one step in the world.
Oh my lord. I think the worst job I ever had in my life, I mean, worst/hardest was waitering.
Oh god.
That's hard. What was fast food? It was like McDonald's or something.
It was McDonald's, yep.
Oh my god. I'm surprised you don't why don't you just become a DevOps dude like me working for
That's a good question.
I mean, you'll probably learn enough to do the job in no time.
Yeah, I could do it. Like I don't know.
So why don't you do it? I think YouTube sounds better.
You know, if I could turn it into a career, that does sound much better.
But
yeah, even though you'll have all these YouTubers be like, I'm burning out from YouTube. My job is so hard.
I think it is a grind. I mean,
it's a grind. Yeah.
I'm trying to find some balance to it. I do kind of, in all honesty, I do prefer YouTube than my day job. But my day job pays pretty well.
Yeah.
My day job can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, sometimes it can be quite excruciating.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a bit of kind of a social person. I think the problem I have at my workplace a lot is that, you know, like maybe it's just Singapore, but like when you're hired for a job, they just think of you as the DevOps person, like, and you're doing you're like an asset or something like that.
Right.
Like I think with the YouTube thing, there's this allure of being a personality, and it's kind of, that's the contrast to me.
No, I get what you're saying. I think a lot of people with the personality thing though get a little bit too up themselves with it. They think they're more special. Yeah, I know. No one would ever thought that before. It's such a hot take.
I'm a god.
There's definitely some people who do have that mindset though, and it's just like, no, not really. You're just a dude.
Well, I just like being social. I feel like even though it's like YouTube and it's a bit weird, I do feel like I'm being social.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's being fun, because like, yeah, work often enough isn't really fun. It's a bit of a grind at times, a lot of the time.
Yeah, I can't tell you what fun work is. I just put boxes on shelves.
Yeah, maybe that's what I do with DevOps. I'm just putting containers into VMs.
That's one way to look at it.
At least launching serverless functions.
At least when you have kind of a terrible job, there's usually like everyone sort of accepts that this job's terrible, and there's like a bit more of a community there. I don't know what it'd be like working like a DevOps job. Is there like, I don't know, some sort of company culture? I guess that's the buzzword people use now, is company culture that you enjoy.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think I'm amazed that you're interested in this sort of stuff as someone who doesn't work in the industry, because I feel like if you're like working with Linux and things, it goes hand in hand with like a programming career or something.
Well, I did do 4 years at university programming, so.
Oh, really? Have you got a bachelor's or something?
Or? Honors degree. Or I don't have it just yet. I'll have it. Actually, no, I might have my transcript now. Yeah, I think I do have the transcript now. So yes, I do have it now.
Did you learn to program or something? Do you have a GitHub account or something?
I do, yeah. It's just Brody Robertson.
You got anything interesting there?
Most of the stuff right now, it's related to the channel, so it's like dot files and my ST fork and things like that.
There
is some.
So you use ST as your terminal?
I did. I use Alacrity now.
Yeah, I must say, I'm an Alacrity. It's just blazing fast, and it works quite well. And it works on Mac, so I can use the same.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's a Windows version as well, isn't it?
I don't use Windows.
Yeah, you don't use Windows. Okay.
But yeah, Alacrity, amazing. But I haven't looked. I mean, the source code is pretty extensive. Rust. I'm sure ST will mature. Maybe I'm in no hurry.
Yeah. I go back to it every so often.
I mean, Alacrity authors look at ST all the time.
Well, I do still have ST installed just in case I do something like break my Alacrity config, which I've done before.
Oh, okay.
So I just have that just in case I do something stupid and I need a terminal that works.
Another thing that I did, I'm not sure you're aware of, is that I did my own operating system called Web Converger.
I think you mentioned it last time we talked, but I don't think I looked at it.
I just wanted to mention that because, since I used Linux much the same way you did, I had my DWM thing. I mean, Web Converger is basically Debian with DWM just running a browser. So I was just thinking, in your case, maybe you will figure out a workflow like I did effectively. I just want my browser full screen and I just want my browser.
Yeah.
And then you can create a product from that or something like that. I don't know.
Well, there were some guys in my Discord yesterday saying that I should learn how to make an ISO. It just make it easier to deploy my system.
Yep.
That's one reason I might do it.
Exactly. The other thing that's come up on my radar a little bit is security stuff. I think there's some opportunities there to basically have a more secure out the box type operating system.
I did see you arguing with someone on Twitter about SE Linux.
I think this person's wrong, but I was trying to be quite gender neutral. I mean, argument. What do you call it? I was trying to be quite neutral.
It's very fun. I saved a link to it, and now the link's not working. Okay, we'll just go to your Twitter account. Let's scroll down.
Yeah, I don't know who that person is, but pretty passionate.
Is that it?
Which is cool.
This is a very long Twitter thread.
Yeah, I mean, I was just puzzled by this person. It was the first person I knew that actually supported the use of SE Linux.
Here we go. So, you're saying about Linux hardening guide side. Good comment here. Cost of maintaining non-defaults. SE Linux is the first reply we have, and then came to say the same thing. Honestly, SE Linux is easy once you know how to write policies. I'm shocked so many devs have such shit takes on security. Makes me wonder how poor the code they produce is. And then this goes for a couple days by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then he started talking about Linux from scratch at some point for some reason. I don't know.
There's some special people in the community, and that person's definitely special. But I do like hearing the. I mean, I've worked in a lot of industries. I've deployed a lot of software, and SE Linux was the first thing you turn off in every project. I mean, SE Linux, I think even Red Hat turned it off, right? I think it was only a couple of weird versions of Red Hat shipped it by default, and everyone just turned it off.
Security isn't my forte. What is SE Linux? Give me the 2-second rundown.
You know what? I'm the worst person because
you're probably better than I am.
It never worked for me. I never actually quite understood it. It was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be something where the machine's locked down, and then you write policies that I think you can opt in. I mean, that's the way you probably want to do it, so that you get to the principle of least privilege or something, and then that machine is secure in the sense that people can't do super user things except for what the program is supposed to do.
Right.
Whatever. But it just turned out to be, I think, just too difficult to work with. So everyone just turned it off.
Also, it's developed by the NSA, so...
Well, I mean, the internet was invented by the NSA, wasn't it? Or something like that.
It was a US military project, initially.
Yeah, so SE Linux, well, the thing is, like, at least in Singapore, at least in the industry that I'm working in, public sector, security is just such a big thing.
Mhm.
I don't know if you heard what happens in Singapore, but the government basically has this sort of like approach where they disconnect people from the internet. What do you call them? There's a lot of air gap machines.
Okay.
And air gap systems just not connected to the internet because being connected to the internet is just deemed not. So everyone's there's cybersecurity teams that are just sort of ruining my life because they make life quite difficult. I'm just trying to I think the important thing is to debate it. I mean, I'm no expert. I don't know what the right solution is, but I just hate it how it's very difficult to have conversations even. So I'm having conversations in my own little channels, I guess.
Yeah,
hopefully
fair.
I won't get into trouble by bemoaning some public sector policies.
Just don't name anything specific, and you'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first person who's come on here and bemoan things they probably shouldn't be. You know, like their current employer and things like that. But
yeah. Well, I do like my employer. But the trouble is like debating or arguing on the internet is really hard. And I like to play devil's advocate for even the stuff that I use or the stuff I don't use. And then people just think you're an asshole or something, and then it gets kind of ugly. So I really but it hasn't. I don't think I've ever stopped to. I'm always trying to be open about things. And
well, one of the big problems with communication on the internet is doing it through text. You lose a lot of just.
Yeah,
I guess social cues is the word I'm thinking of. Social cues when you're talking through text.
I've taken this practice. I think I picked it up from a guy named TJ. Like every second sentence he writes, he just adds "ha ha."
Just instead of using full stops to end your sentences, just use an emoji and you'll be good.
Exactly. Some people just get too. Yeah, they think you're coming across as you gotta. I think haha works for me. I use it a lot. I think and people have given me positive feedback about it. So because I think I'm quite I joke a lot. I think I do. I try to.
Yeah, I know the feeling. A lot of people have taken some things I've said a little too literally. I think the best example was a video I did last year on April Fool's Day. The video was about this nonsensically minimal shell prompt. Basically, it was a shell script that turned your PS1. It was literally just export PS1, turn it into an angle bracket. And that's all it was. And I did an 8-minute video on this thing on April Fool's Day, and so many people took it seriously.
OMG, I wouldn't have the guts to do that. Oh yeah, what shell do you use?
I use ZSH, or I guess people are going to complain.
Oh god,
Z shell, I guess. There you go. For the
I don't like ZSH. It's the rising shell. Did you try? What did you think of fish? I'm sure you
haven't tried fish actually.
What?
No, I went from Bash to ZSH. I need to try fish at some point.
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of Bash. It's really bloated, but some of the new features are quite cool. I like the VI insert mode that they've got going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was so yeah. Give me a rundown of your system. What is your window manager again?
Currently it's BSPWM, but I am trying out Awesome.
BWSP. That's part of a. What is? Why do people use that one? Why do you use that? It's an old school one, isn't it?
Is it?
I mean, it's older than Awesome.
Let's find out.
Probably younger than DWM.
BSP. I don't know. It's getting a. It's still not. Yeah, words. Words are hard.
Words.
It's not really getting super updated at this point. There's a little bit of changes here and there, but I guess it is kind of old at this point. I don't know. I originally found it from one of Luke's videos. Because I was like a big fan of Luke when I first started using Linux.
Oh god.
That was the reason I started using i3, and that was the reason I switched to BSPWM. I'd never followed him to DWM though.
Dude.
Yeah, maybe one day. Anyway, I just sort of liked how you had to sort of build up everything yourself. BSPWM is completely useless out of the box. It barely functions as a window manager. You might as well just spawn a window in your XNetRC. That's basically how useful it is. You sort of have to go and actually...
Oh my god, there's like 20 files. No. I don't like the project layout already. No, I'm a one file Unix kind of guy. I hate it when people split out. And then you have to like configure then you have to get Control P working on Vim just to navigate the goddamn project. Nightmare. And I hate moving between files. Keep it in one file, guys. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I've been using that for a while. I sort of got it to the point where it's pretty much done, like where I want it to be. Like, I'm not one of these people who just strip out my entire system and then redo it just because I want to like do some different rice. I get it to the point where I'm happy, it does everything I need it to do, and then I'm good.
No, Brody, you need to chip away at it. You need to delete the config and rewrite it from scratch.
It would be better for it would be so much better for content, but I don't want to. I really don't.
Okay, maybe you're tired. Yeah, recently I've done the exercise. I for some reason I do this every few years where I just delete my Vim RC and I just start from scratch. Yeah, I think it's a good. Yeah, I'm definitely like on a
my Vim RC is getting a bit big at this point. There's a lot in that doesn't need to be in there.
And if you use NeoVim, a lot of stuff can be removed. So.
There's definitely some legacy Vim stuff from when I used it that I haven't removed yet.
Oh, so what is your editor of choice?
NeoVim. I used Vim for like 3 months though.
Okay.
So there is some Vim config that is still in there. Basically, when I switched to NeoVim, I copied everything over. So even stuff that NeoVim does out of the box for you.
So you use Arch or something else?
Yes, I use Arch.
So Arch, BSWM, Alacrity, NeoVim. What else is there? Browser?
Brave at this point.
It
is becoming less lucrative to run, so I might just switch over to like ungoogled Chromium or something.
Less lucrative? Oh, because of the attention tokens.
Yeah. They're giving out less of the tokens now, so there's less of a reason to run it. I'll just run ungoogled Chromium with adblock. It's basically the same effect.
You don't care for the different engines, like Gecko versus Chrome, whatever it's called.
I've tried out some other browser engines, and Chromium is just the best one right now. Sadly, I don't like it.
Wait, is Brave using Chromium?
Yes, Brave is Chromium.
Oh man, because Brave was started by the Firefox guys, I think.
Yes, it was.
Huh. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, I kind of started out on this rap game doing web stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit scary to think that Chrome is the one engine to rule them all.
I don't like it. Like I would love to be able to run Firefox. It's just that people say Firefox is perfectly fine. Like it's really not though.
What's wrong with Firefox for you?
I've found that at least on my system, it seems to be considerably slower. That's one of the big things for me. And I have had some rendering issues from time to time. It's nothing major. Like when I do I occasionally will go back and do some web development stuff. I do run Chromium and Firefox because you just got to make sure it works on everything. But I mainly run a Chromium browser.
I'm mainly running Firefox, but I do have some FOMO. Like, am I missing out? But no, I'm running Firefox because I feel like we really need to have two different browser engines for a start.
Maybe I'll just run Qt for the memes or something.
Qt? Oh, this is the minimalistic browser?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I haven't tried it out. Yeah, it would be nice if there was a minimalistic browser.
Suckless has got one. Surf.
What? No, I mean that's just
Surf is a
very
joke.
wrap-on WebKit. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm a bit worried about the web. The web seems to, because I feel like I've spent many years promoting the web. I mean, half of me has been promoting open source, and half of me has been promoting using the web.
Mm-hmm.
Open source, I think, has come a long way, but the web is like, like I was just in the airport, just hanging around there.
As you do, yep.
And there was a banner saying like, if you want more information, go to the Google App Store, the Apple App Store, and the Huawei App Store. It's like, what? Where's the web address? It's like,
no, now it's behind. Oh, sometimes they'll still have a web address. It'll just be behind a QR code.
No, this one didn't. I was kind of shocked. And even in the public sector in Singapore, many times it's like, oh, we need an app, and like, you don't. You're just trying to discern some information. The web is fine. Oh yeah, but we need to have the ability to take pictures. You can do that on the web. Things like that. Oh, well. So yeah, sucks. But that's a lot of joy in this computing world that we're living in. The beginning of the information age.
Well, I think I was. When did I first get an internet connection? I think I was maybe 10 before I first got an internet connection. So I was sort of in like that last generation that had any period of time where they didn't have internet. Like the only reason I didn't was because I lived in rural Australia, and back then it would have been dial-up, and my parents was like, we don't need it. So until I moved back to the city, then I just didn't have a connection.
Yeah. Yeah, my child has been born with the internet. He doesn't know what it's
symmetrical gigabit.
Yeah. Right now, he's just been going through every App Store game, and the Apple App Store I thought was curated, but it's just full of junk. There's so much like adware, dodgy stuff with like Chinese characters with big breasts, kissing you, and like, oh my god,
it's less bad than the Play Store, because there are things on the I don't know if you've seen this, but there are things on the Play Store where Google has marked it as malware and then just don't remove it. It's just like, this is malware. Like, take it off the store then.
Yeah, I think they have different approaches. But I mean, the App Store approach of curating things also doesn't seem to work, because there's just a lot of bad stuff. And it's weird because like every app who does this adware, the ads are for different apps. So then you go from app to app to app to app to app. It's one weird sort of circle jerk. Pretty bad.
And most of them are probably Bitcoin miners.
And I doubt that on the App Store, but it's
okay. Maybe Apple's better than.
They're all Google trying to like get you to buy some tokens, I think. So that you can in-game use it for something else.
Yeah.
And like, when you're a child and you're on my Apple account, it's not that cool, is it? Because he's pretty smart. He's already figured out some of my pins, and then he'll one day figure out my Apple ID, and then I'm done. Done.
Just get yourself a 100 character password or something. Stick it in a password manager. You'll be good. If he manages to crack that, then I don't know. You should send him to some like really prestigious university. He's clearly the smartest person in the world.
No, I think he's. Yeah, most people can figure this out. Yeah, it's a strange. It's interesting to think what kind of experiences he's going to have.
Well,
I haven't got on Linux yet.
my youngest nieces and nephews, they're like 5 and 6. They have iPads, and it's weird. Like I don't get it. Put your kids outside or something. What
do you mean weird? What don't you get about it?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because when I was growing up, I didn't really have like smartphones didn't come out until I was in high school. So it's kind of weird for me seeing kids now with just always going to be attached to their phone from basically the day they can pick up a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, like the moment my son wakes up, he's like clambering for the iPad, like it's like some sort of umbilical cord or something. Yeah, it's but I guess I'm the same. So I'm setting a terrible example. Amount of time I spend on my computer is ridiculous.
But yeah, that's fair.
And lately, maybe I'm getting a bit cynical or depressed or something, but I do feel like I'm wasting my time sometimes. Especially when like there are simpler ways to do it and things like this. I do think there is a lot of like, especially in the computer industry, I feel like there's a lot of like needless reinventing in some ways, or not. Maybe reinventing is the wrong word. I mean, reinvention's not too bad, but like, I don't know, just churn or something. You know, it's people just doing the same old thing in a different way and whatever.
That's my entire channel.
Yeah, keep doing it.
People like it, so I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I guess it's the fate with everything in this world. We'll just end up just redoing things again and again and again, and that's it, right? It's
Pretty much.
nothing really novel.
But yeah. I definitely understand. Like, there's so many. Just one little thing. Like, if you want to do any sort of basic action in any language, there'll probably be like 10 or 15 libraries to do it. It's like, we don't need all of these. Just work on one library and imagine how good that library would become. But no, everyone thinks they can do it better.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. What programming language did you learn? I didn't ask you that.
I learned. I like how this is turning into me being interviewed. That's great. It's fine. It means less work for me. Okay. My niche before I went to uni. I actually did some programming. I did Java. By the end of the year, I knew more than the teacher because it was a high school class, and the teacher he was reading the textbook as we were reading the textbook. So
nice.
Which was obviously not going to go very well. Then when I went to uni, first year we did more Java. I still don't like Java.
Did you use like Maven or Gradle for the dependencies or anything like that?
We stuck everything in Eclipse, and Eclipse just did everything magically for us.
Shit.
I think Eclipse uses Ant to do its building.
Pick up pieces from Eclipse. Okay, whatever. And then did you get onto a proper language?
We did Python after that, then C++.
That sounds terrible.
And then
Java, Python, and C++.
And then some C# after that. Oh, and also Swift.
Okay, you've had a terrible education.
We did 1 week of C. But the engineers are the ones who do C. We don't. The software engineers don't.
C and Go. That would have been good.
That would be nice. Oh, we also did we did a web development course. We did obviously JavaScript and HTML and all that because, you know, it's web development. For a front-end library, we did Angular, not the new version of Angular, the original version of Angular. I don't know why. This was 2 years ago.
Maybe it's to traumatize you.
Maybe. And for back-end development, no PHP, nothing, no Node.js. Like, that's what everyone's actually doing now. We did ASP.NET. Not original ASP, ASP.NET. So at least we were relatively close to the modern year. But ASP.NET.
So since then you're onto something a bit more sane, right? You're using Go and you're using, I don't know, Vue.js or something. Or
when I do web development, I have done a bit of React because, you know, that's people love React now. I don't know what it's like in Singapore, but the two biggest frameworks here for web development are React and Angular, the good version of Angular.
Yeah, there's I think there's people using Vue in Singapore, but yeah, Angular is like one of those things that are probably used in big evil enterprises, along with Java. And God, who wants to work there?
Yeah, I know some people who are like, yeah, I want to go get a job at like one of these big companies. It'll be nice and stable. Like, yeah, but you also be a number.
Yeah, in Singapore, I think I guess it's the same in Australia. Like working with these dull technologies, like a drone, it's like the worst thing for me.
Well, in Australia, at least in South Australia, there's a company called DXC. Who did DXC?
Yeah, they're AWS partners. I've
Yeah,
seen their name.
they're well-ride company, but they have an office in Adelaide, and anyone who doesn't get hired within like the first year, they will just bombard them with emails about like they'll just sweep up everyone they can sweep up.
Yeah, and then it becomes like a lowest common denominator. Like, it's in the interest of these companies to basically standardize their processes, and everything becomes Java and Angular,
Mm-hmm.
the most enterprisey stuff. Then they just bang out solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, isn't Adelaide the place where Elon Musk put that battery?
Elon. Wait, let's find out. Elon Musk.
Are you unaware of the battery?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
What do you call it then?
The big battery farm thingy. I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
Can I get some more coffee?
Sure.
I'll just run out. Dying here.
Okay, I'll just talk about the battery. So here we go. Here's the 2 years on, Elon Musk's big battery bet is paying off in Australia. Hornsdale battery is reducing costs for key network functions. Battery owner Neon plans more giant storage facilities. Right, I completely forgot this happened. So basically, Elon Musk was like, lol, let's just stick a big battery in the desert in South Australia because, you know, that's a fun idea. And then he did it because it's Elon Musk, and he may be slow at delivering, but he'll at least deliver at some point. Do you just have the coffee already made?
Yeah, it's in a pot.
Ah.
Hey, what do you mean? He hasn't delivered? What do you mean?
Oh no, I mean like with Tesla, he's the company's very slow at delivering things. And
yeah,
missing deadlines, missing the number of products they're supposed to deliver. But it'll eventually be delivered.
As a YouTuber myself, I would definitely like a Tesla.
Yeah, it's the YouTuber car, isn't it?
Yeah, oh my lord, I love it. And I must say, Elon Musk, his Twitter account, it's pretty strong. He's got a pretty good meme game.
I love Elon's Twitter. It's great. I love the replies as well. Because it's always the exact same thing. People being like, Elon, this is such a terrible hot take. And then the next day it's like, Elon, this is such a good hot take. You've never made a good hot take before. Even though literally yesterday, these people. Let's find out what Elon is saying right now.
Oh, God.
Okay, no, this is just... He just posted about some snow falling in a gigafactory in Berlin. That's fine. Okay.
I used to live in Berlin. I'm kind of surprised that he chose Berlin.
So proud of Tesla for achieving this major milestone. We produced 500,000 cars. Okay, I don't know if that's less than they were supposed to deliver, but wow, he's actually being really tame right now. Oh, no, here we go. Here's a fun one. This is about the... Did you see the Boston Dynamics dancing robot video?
Oh, yeah, great video.
He took a screenshot from that and says, Snakehead dog had my undivided attention until Winderhead ostrich came gliding through all nonchalant.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, God.
That Boston Dynamics. Who owns Boston Dynamics now?
I don't know. Let's find out. Boston Dynamics. When I saw that video, I was just like, just imagine those robots with guns. Let's see. What did they say?
Oh, I had a question for you, Birdie. What is like the biggest Linuxy conference? If say COVID didn't exist and you want to meet with like-minded people, where would you go for a conference thing?
I think it's Linux. Is it called Linux Conf Sydney? I think so.
Isn't it a bit of a mission for you to get to Sydney? How would you get there? Fly?
Yeah, I could drive there. It's only like 30 hours.
Nice.
I haven't been that far, to be honest. A Linux Conf AU, and that I believe is in Sydney or Melbourne.
Have you been there before?
No, because last year I didn't go because I just started using Linux, and this year I didn't go because it was online. Well, last year, sorry, and the year before that, yeah.
I've yet to have a good online conference experience. It's usually just a train wreck. I mean,
I got invited to talk about.
AWS one was terrible.
I got invited to talk at VimConf 2020.
What?
Yeah, they were just inviting random people.
How come I wasn't invited?
I don't know. I don't know why I was invited. I didn't end up doing it because I didn't have anything to talk about. Plus, I think it would have been at 4 a.m. my time. I was like, nah, I'm good. Here we go. Send you a link to it. Where's the link? There's chat. Okay.
Are you into your coffee or anything like that?
I drink tea, and my teacup is empty.
Oh.
I used to drink coffee.
You're drinking Lipton?
This is Twinings. Twinings Australian afternoon. Is it going to focus? Wonder if it will.
Yes. Australian afternoon. Okay. Wonder if that's any good. I think Twinings is not a great brand, but whatever.
They're very popular. Like, I don't know if they're popular or if they just. I don't know. You can get lots of Twinings in Australia. You just have like entire half sections of an aisle that are Twinings.
I used to live in Australia, in Melbourne, myself.
Oh yeah.
That's where I met my Asian wife, and who I'm married to now, obviously in Singapore. I was perhaps living in Australia when I backpacked around the world and ended up in Australia.
Sure.
And I must say, I was very upset with Australia because it was just so boring. So
you're in Melbourne. What was boring about Melbourne?
I don't know. It was a bit samey, and people's thinking a certain way that didn't gel with me. And there's something that grated me about it. But to be honest, now that I have kids and I'm a bit more settled, I probably would like to move back to Australia, perhaps. But I don't know where. And I don't know about the job thing, and I hate the idea about paying taxes, 50% taxes or something crazy.
Yeah, taxes here are fun. You know what? I don't know I know they've been shifting stuff around because the problem Australia has is leadership changes way too much in this country. I think in the past like 5 years we've had like 4 prime ministers.
Yeah.
Because
the politics is a bit messed up.
The way
democracy,
the way it works here is when one of the parties gets in power, we don't actually elect the leader. The party themselves elect the leader. So if they have like a leadership spill, then they can just have people coming in and coming out constantly. Australia income tax. I don't actually know because I'm in the bottom bracket.
And I guess since Australia is a big government kind of country, having a powerful job in the government is probably quite alluring to some crazy people.
So tax rates in Australia, it's 0 to 18,000, you don't pay any tax. 18 to 37, you pay 19%. Then 37 to 87, anything above the 37 is then 32.5. Then anything above 87 to 180,000 is 37%. And then anything above 180,000 is 45%.
Oh, okay. I'm probably going to be in the 180,000. Let's be honest.
Jesus.
That's my reality. I'm productive.
I'm slowly pushing my way into that 19% bracket.
Wow, man.
I think this year I should be. Yeah.
But then there's also other taxes to worry about. Like I think you probably have like a high VAT or something.
We've got GST on basically everything. We've got.
And how much is that?
10%.
Oh, that's not too bad.
We've got
because in the UK it's like 20. It's like madness to me.
That's stupid. I was really sad when a lot of the a problem that the government had. It wasn't a problem for the citizens. Is that if I bought something from like America or Japan, I didn't have to pay GST on it. But in like the past, I think last year or so, they fixed that. So now everything's just 10% more expensive.
Ouch. Well, in Singapore, if it's less than $400 in total or something, you for a shipment, you don't have to pay taxes on it or customs duties or things, which is quite nice. Amazon works really well. Like you order something from US and it comes here within a week, and it's US prices, which is just great.
The nice thing about Australia, unlike the US, is that anything that has extra taxes on it are just attached to the price. It's not like, here's the price, here's extra taxes on top of that you didn't know about.
Yeah, I mean, America, it's not that as bad as people make it out to be, but anyway, it's easy. Singapore is really easy with taxes. So I was just keen to see if you had any like wanderlust. Do you want to get out of your Adelaide rural town?
I'm not in a rural area right now.
You're in the city?
Suburbs.
Do you want to go somewhere, or you're kind of happy in your sticks or something?
I want to go rural. I want to get away from the city.
You want to go rural? You want to do like a Smith walking through the freaking desert or something?
I want to go live down by the river. That sounds like fun.
What's down by the river? I don't understand.
It's near the river. I want to live near the river. That's what I would do.
With no one there except internet.
No, there's plenty of internet there.
What's down by the river? Like the Adelaide River?
Down by the Murray River. So that's like the major river that goes from like South Australia all the way into like Victoria.
So what's your dream situation? You're just perched by the river out of the city?
Yeah, down somewhere like Waikery or Berry. And then I can just walk down to the river, go fishing. Yep, absolutely. Sounds like lots of fun.
Wow, man. That doesn't sound too bad. I've heard of worse ideas.
I used to have this idea that I wanted to live in the city, and then I visited the city a couple of times, and I didn't want to live in the city anymore.
Yeah. I would say I'm a city person now, but it's in the convenience factors, like I enjoy it, but like especially in this COVID time, I'm getting quite frustrated with it. Yeah, I think my priorities have changed. I think I would like to be rural, but my wife isn't that keen on that sort of stuff.
That's fair.
Some of the best experiences in my life are in like rural South Africa, going hunting and things like that. They were so pure and so amazing. And now look at me. I'm a broken man.
I do want to leave Australia at some point. I don't want to like leave to live somewhere else, but I would like to visit some other countries.
Yeah, you should, as you should. You should do your overseas experience. Go stack some shelves in London.
I'm gonna go to London. I'm not stacking shelves there. Look, maybe if I turn this YouTube thing into a career, I can business expense the flights.
Oh my god. Be realistic, Brody. Be realistic. No, I'm sure you get there if you try hard.
I can. Those Hawaiian shirts that wear my thumbnails, I can business expense those because thumbnails. Business expense everything.
Have you actually opened up a business to handle your accounts and stuff?
Yeah. So in Australia, this is one of the few things in Australia that's actually very simple. If you operate as a sole trader, I guess it's called like a sole proprietor in the US, and I don't know what it's called in Singapore. Basically, what is it called in Singapore? If you just operate a business where it's like, I don't know, a lawn mowing business or something, you're the only employee.
I think it is a sole trader, but most people set up limited because then you have limited liability for some reason.
So right now I'm running as a sole trader, and the way it works here is any money you make just goes on top of your regular income. So if I make, say, like 20,000 at my regular job, and then from YouTube I make another 20,000, then basically all the tax office cares about is you made $40,000 income this year, pay tax on that.
And then you can offset it with the expenses, I guess.
Yep.
I usually just hate the bookkeeping aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been one of my big things I've been trying to do in this new year is to do like a financial independence, retire early spreadsheet, and it's just driving me nuts. because I have so many accounts and different balances and transactions. Oh man, I need to get my my affairs in order.
Yeah, mine are in order enough that I'm not going to get audited, but they need to be need a bit more work for sure. Especially if I wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, well, well, how are we doing for time?
Just past an hour.
Okay. Does anyone ever listen this long?
I don't know. YouTube watch times, like everything says like 6 minutes. I think I have like
retention is just like must be like this, right?
On the podcast it's like, and then there's a few people who are like, I'm gonna watch to the end.
Okay, if you got this far, I will give you. No, people might skip ahead.
Maybe, unless they won't skip ahead. I don't tell them.
No, I can't think of a little prize.
Here you go. Here's a prize.
I could probably give you in Singapore. Jesus Christ. It's actually a good image.
When it's not super overexposed,
not
yes.
Your beard. It's a good image considering. So are you going to do like
individual hairs now? That's cool.
You're focusing on the wrong thing somehow. Oh, when do you use Linux? Do you have like a way of like magnifying the screen to like? What do you use to like point out things?
I usually just zoom in on it.
In the edit, basically.
So a lot of stuff I'm doing in a terminal, so I can just zoom in and like, just highlight it or something. I should do something where I like have a circle pop around my mouse or something. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, if you figure that out, let me know.
Yeah, actually, I hadn't thought of doing that before. I might have to look into that.
What's your new videos? Any taster for the next videos?
The one that just came out today, I went and did a second look at GitHub CLI, and just because when I originally looked at it, there was a lot of stuff missing from it.
This is like a V2 of the CLI, I think.
Sorry, what's that?
I think there's like a V2 of the CLI, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. But when I looked at it originally, it was during the beta still, and I had like you couldn't even do things like create a new issue or create a pull request. So it was kind of useless. Since then, it's pretty much the only thing that's missing at this point, I would say, is being able to comment on issues and pull requests. Anything else you can already do from it. Which is nice, because if you're working with Git anyway, I don't particularly want to have to then go to the Git website to make an issue or do things like that. I'd much rather just do it from my environment.
So much faster and easier to work with than, say, Jira. Oh my God, Jira. And that's what I'm having to deal with at work. Oh my God. But I'm a bit pissed off that GitHub is like Microsoft.
Yeah.
Gotta get things going on GitLab, or I don't know.
Or just host your own Git instance or something.
The best Git repository, the best, what do you call it, stuff I've ever seen is the suckless community. They have everything you need, right? A mailing list, which doubles as a bug tracker, which doubles as a discussion forum, and they have a simple instance of Git web. This stuff, and the way that they do it is so simple and elegant. It's so good. I wish other projects could do the same thing. Fortunately, not.
Well, on that note, let's talk about the video that I found, or I guess we found out about each other from, or you found out before. I don't know. Where did you even find my channel originally? If you remember correctly. I don't
remember.
Okay,
I made a video of you when I just came across you.
Okay, because this is the video where I actually found you and knew who you were. This fun video.
I can't see what you're playing.
Chat. If you open up the chat on the left-hand side, there's a little icon in the bottom left corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this video. I don't want to play the audio for this. I really don't.
What am I doing? Scroll. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one.
Show that there's a scroll utility.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate
a pretty dull one.
Yeah, but I remember you making. God, I'm looking at. Oh no.
That's the video I discovered you. Yeah, because I
Oh
mentioned.
no. How many subs did I have at the time? Wow, only 5.8k. Wow. Jesus. That was a while ago. There's so much wrong with what's happening in this shot. There's so much wrong with it.
What, the fact that there's a chair and a blanket or something? What's wrong with the shot?
No, I'm talking about my shot.
Your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look a little scary there.
I do. That was back when I was in my old place. I was real depressed at the time because I hated my housemate. And then like the camera I had below me, which is not a good angle for me. There's a reason why I have my camera above me now, because
I didn't know you were in so much pain, Brody. I'm sorry. You're vulnerable.
Also, I think I was using natural light as well. And plus, yeah, the beard needed some work, didn't it?
Yeah, your beard, I must admit, is in a better place now, but still.
Okay, plus my presentation style was so bad as well. I can't.
Get to work.
I can't. It's awful. So, what made you want to include me in that video?
I don't know. I think you were just showing that you needed to patch it, because in my heart of hearts, I know it's completely misguided. I like to use the defaults.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to prove that you don't have to patch it. Because if you hang around that suckless channel, like 99% of the stuff is like, how do you patch something? It's like,
I do see those on Reddit enough, so I could only imagine directly on the suckless stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's a good. I like the way that suckless do it, because it shows you that there is a cost to patching things and maintaining a patch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think most people are consumers, right? They don't understand that. But we're trying to kick the consumers out the door, if you know what I mean. But it doesn't quite work out half the time. So yeah, you don't need to patch your way through life. Just use the defaults.
To be fair, there are some patches for ST that might be a good idea.
Which patches do you use?
Let's find out. It's been quite a while since I actually looked at them. ST patches. Bold is not bright, which basically just fixes the bold fonts.
Okay.
Okay, this one you don't actually need. Box draw, I just like box draw. It just makes the Unicode box symbols actually render properly.
The ones that are just like not filled.
Yeah, they just don't attach by default. That one you really don't need. Font 2 you kind of need, because ST doesn't want to fix an issue that exists in the font system on Linux, where basically if I think emoji fonts are missing, ST might just crash if it comes across an emoji.
Oh, okay.
That one, the only reason that patch exists is because the developers of the actual font system don't want to fix it, and suckless themselves don't want to fix it.
There's an Xorg thing, you know, RGBA or something.
Mm-hmm.
XMT. You know what I mean? If you install that, you don't have to. Then you don't have any emoji issues.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. I'll have a look into that. I know. Maybe someone's mentioned it to me, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's some old Xorg issue.
And then
you don't need to patch it.
And then I have scroll back, because I don't want to run a like tmarks or anything like that. Well,
you didn't try the scroll utility that I mentioned in my video?
I think I tried it, but I haven't used ST actively in quite a while, so maybe I'll just go and switch to that if I actually did start using ST more.
Okay, cool.
I'm guessing you don't run many patches then, or any patches.
I try not to, but I do patch stuff. I mean, I do fiddle around with things.
Mm-hmm.
But then I do embrace the cost of it, and like, yeah. When you're on Reddit suckless, there's always like someone like, oh, look at my auto patching system. It's like, oh god. You missed the point entirely.
I do have a couple of patches for D menu. One of the ones actually is kind of useful. It's a D menu instant. Basically, if there's one item in the D menu prompt, it will just instantly close it, which is kind of useful for me. So if I use like D menu for my launcher, if I shorten down the list to the point where there's only one application in there, I don't have to press enter, it just does it for me.
But you might accidentally make a typo and launch something accidentally.
You might, yes.
Well, I find D menu has an issue with emojis. It's damn slow. I'm using Luke Smith's emoji picker.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I forgot about that.
And it just grinds to a halt for me.
Yeah, there might be a problem with them. I'm not sure.
But to be honest, Mac's emoji picker sometimes grinds to a halt for me. So
I think it might just be a problem with how many emoji there are at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
And then there's
it's gonna grow too, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've got the base set emoji, and then any like human emojis, they've got like different color variants of the emoji as well.
And then everyone's gonna like wonder why are this like 10 times more emoji than Chinese characters? So it's easy why this happened.
And then also you have we just don't need this many emoji. Just stop. Let's just go back to emoticons. That'll be nice.
People don't even know what they are, right?
I know.
So can't go back to that. I'm just looking at the suckless Reddit.
Sure, okay. Let's look at the suckless. I've never gone to the suckless Reddit before. There's never been any desire.
What is your favorite Reddit channel?
Command line's pretty good.
Command line.
Usually it's people talking about various command line applications they've made.
I think I've fallen out with the moderators of Archnex. I can't post anything there without them removing it. The joy.
Reddit r/suckless. Let's see what fun we have on r/suckless. I didn't even know this existed. It makes sense, but it sort of defeats the purpose that you're talking about suckless on a place like Reddit.
Come on, I didn't know about this one. It looks okay.
Blank Android Studio in DWM. What? That has nothing to do with DWM. Here we go. Yeah. Here's the first.
He needs to read the man page.
Here's a DWM rice. That makes sense. D menu show Chinese smaller than English. Yes. Because fonts are weird.
There's I think rice. DWM. I mean, they use font config and then they've gone back to using bitmap or something because font config is a nightmare. I think it's what happened.
I'm not too sure about it myself.
And then it's the same with the Xinorama. Like they did support multiple displays. It turns out to be a nightmare, so they've taken it out again, which is great. I like the fact that they say, no, we're going to reduce complexity. Because usually software goes completely the other way.
Hey, a good subreddit for going the complete other way is r/Unix porn.
Oh, yeah.
What a great subreddit.
When I was younger, I used to spend ages on my background, and now I just have a black background. Because you realize after a while that like the way that computers work is like it's got, if you have a high resolution image in the background, it's keeping lots of that and copies of that in the memory just to be able to display it. And then
I have enough memory that doesn't bother me.
When you have a black background, that all that goes away.
I've got plenty of memory. I think I'm fine.
How much memory do you have?
32 gigs on this system.
What the hell? You're such a ricer, honestly.
It's good for running VMs.
What? Oh, VirtualBox or how?
Yeah, VirtualBox. I should try out Virt Manager at some point, but I'm lazy.
Nah, VirtualBox works quite well, except for the fact that it's Oracle and i3 gaps. There's no DWM here, is there?
For what's that?
Oh, I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion on Wayland?
I tried it for about 5 minutes. I was like, wow, this worked really well, and then I went back to X.
What? It works really well, and then you went back to X.
Yeah, because I realized that all of my X tools weren't going to work. Because
Yeah. What I find a bit annoying is that they have that like X or what do you call it? Compatibility layer. So you don't even know if you're actually using Wayland in some cases. Okay, well, you didn't get far with it then.
Well,
I've
no,
been dabbling in it a while. I think it does some things that are better. Like, for example, I don't know, I don't see tears in Wayland. But if you don't explicitly put tear free on Xorg, you can get some horrible. I don't know why tear free isn't like almost the default in Xorg.
there's an option for that?
There is. It's like exact xrandr output tear free on.
What? Wait.
And like xrandr, for some reason the default output doesn't show you whether it's
What'd you say the option was called? Tear free.
Yeah.
What the? Wait, what? Why is that an option? Who wants what? Why is under what situation do you want screen tearing?
I know. It's a fucking nightmare.
I did not know about that. Thank you. Because I've had some pretty bad screen tearing playing some games recently, and it's not been fun.
Yeah. I would love it if the Xorg could like print a FPS counter like Steam, so you kind of know when things are getting a bit edgy.
I wonder I imagine there's like a util to do it somewhere.
Like, for example, like on web pages when you're scrolling, sometimes the frames per second, I think you can see it in Chrome. Sometimes it like really drops.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. I had just chalked it up to being a Chrome problem.
It's probably a crappy website. Well,
I happen to be on YouTube, so I'd hope that YouTube knows. Or, yeah, I hope they know how to develop a website at this point. I've been doing it for long enough.
I don't know. I think they're focusing on their app, right?
Yeah, yes, because you know, apps are the future. Have to do everything with an app.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What else is there to talk about? I think I asked you all the questions I wanted to ask you.
Did you actually prepare questions?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious. I guess my overarching question is like, why are you interested in this stuff?
That's a very good question. I've sort of always been like a tinkery sort of person, and it's sort of a natural progression to eventually get myself onto Linux and eventually start using window managers. I like to break stuff, usually break stuff more than fix it.
You must have broken out of the whole GNOME KDE cage. So when you first installed it,
I first installed Arch and I installed a window manager.
You first installed Arch? Is that was your first?
Yes, that was my first distro.
Oh my lord! Okay, no wonder.
Arch and i3 is my first time on. Well, I guess I had used Ubuntu in a VM before, but it was for like little things, not actually daily driving.
You must have had a friend or someone telling you that Arch was the one to install. Was it my video?
No, as I've said before, it's because I used to watch a lot of Luke's videos. He is the reason why everyone uses Arch and i3.
Are you worried about Luke? Isn't he like becoming more detached?
Detached from reality, yeah, that's one way to put it. I don't know. He's an odd.
His progression.
He's an odd unit, that's for sure. Yeah, I just sort of sit back and just watch what happens. And also, I do have some amusing things that I notice. Because he's the sort of person who likes to not make a video for like a week or two and then come back out of nowhere. And I've noticed a few times, because I know that he has my channel in his list of RSS feeds he's subscribed to. I've noticed that I will upload a video and then a day later, he will do basically the same topic. It's like, So you know, I'm doing that to him this week. I'm talking about why video games aren't necessarily evil.
Have you spoken to him?
No. The only time I spoke to him, people think that we're friends. I spoke to him on the comment section of the video where he recommended my channel. That's basically the only time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't had any direct contact really. But there's some strange characters in the community. I feel like the most normal one, hopefully people will agree with that. Or like, hey, the Kai's the weird one in Singapore.
Singapore sounds like a pretty cool country.
Yeah, that's good. I recommend it. I like living here. Okay, so, but Brody, let's end this. I need to get to school.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We can end this. Usually what I do at the end of a podcast is, do you have a channel, a YouTube channel that you've been enjoying content from that you want to...
Kick the link. Aren't you going to like put the link somewhere below in the description?
Oh, no. I was going to say... Let me finish what I was going to say. Do you have a channel that you've been watching watching on YouTube that you want to give a shout out to? We'll do your stuff in a second. No? Nothing?
What? Is Tom Scott?
Tom Scott, yes. Okay, cool. Everyone watch Tom Scott. Tom Scott makes awesome content. I'm sure everyone already knows about Tom Scott, but do
it. Cracks me up. Ryan the Leader.
Oh yes, no, Ryan the Leader is great. I've been watching a lot of his stuff recently.
Yeah, it's like the camera work and the comedy just cracks me up.
I was not expecting you to mention Ryan the Leader. That's, out of all the channels you could have picked, that was not the one I was gonna think of. But yeah, I recommend Ryan's stuff. He makes absolutely great content. As for me, I'm gonna say check out... Have I mentioned his channel on here before? I don't know, maybe. Check out EEV Blog. EEV Blog is a electronics engineer channel.
He's Australian too, right?
He is from Sydney, yes. And he recently uploaded a video doing another video on solar freaking roadways, because they keep getting funded for some reason.
Solar... Oh, okay. Like, just basically...
Yeah, there's a company called Solar freaking Roadways, and they've had like millions of dollars of funding to basically make a couple meter section of solar roadway that they haven't had cars drive on in 6 years.
Yeah, I really like people like him, because he definitely what do you call it? He shoots down bad ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel, I wish I could shoot down bad ideas like proprietary software and complexity, but I haven't figured that. I don't think I'm doing a great job.
It's been done so many times already. Doing that in like an original way is kind of difficult.
What, the complexity argument, all that stuff?
Yeah. There's so many people who have already done those sort of videos that I don't know what sort of new take you could make on it.
The problem exists.
Does.
I would like to make videos of like where I just like use an application or something and just show you like, why did I do it this way? Don't do it. Anyway.
Cool. Where can people find you?
Oh, I have a web address. Unlike you sharecroppers, I'm not living on YouTube exclusively. Hendry.icky.fi.
Okay. Then we link that one down below. Your YouTube channel?
It's linked from Hendry.icky.fi when I think of it.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to ride this I'm not a sharecropper train.
Well, okay. Well, I'll have the link to it in the description then. Cool. So before we go, I would like to thank my supporters. A special thank you to Chris, Joachim, Donald, Michael, Andre, Nathan, David, Monster, Will, Chicabento, Joseph, Mitchell, Peter D, Tony, Tushar, and all of the $2 supporters. If you'd like to watch my main channel, that is just Brody Robertson. Find it on YouTube, Odyssey, things like that. I'll have a website eventually, unlike Kai, who already has one.
What?
Yeah, I know. I need to set it up. I'm lazy. This podcast, if you're listening to the audio version, there is a video version available on YouTube and Odyssey. If you're watching the video version, the audio version, you can just look up on literally any podcasting app. You'll find it. Thank you guys for watching. We are, I think, just about to hit an hour and a half. So sure, we'll just end it there then. Cool. I'll give you the final words.
Watch, like, subscribe. I don't know. I'm glad. What can I say? Suck less, guys. Please suck less than I just did.
She'll go with that. Oh Lord.